Welcome back, everyone, to the Answers On series here in Davos. Today we're talking modern slavery. I'm joined by Kailash Satyarthi, Nobel Peace Laureate, and Monique, the CEO of the Thomson Reuters Foundation. Thank you to both of you. Kailash, let me start with you. India is the country with the highest number of people trapped in slavery. Have you seen any progress since you received the Nobel Peace Prize, what was it, 3 years ago, back in 2014?
Definitely. First of all, it has raised tremendous amount of awareness and concern among the society, common people. Secondly, the government is much more serious than ever before. Like they have made a new law to prohibit all forms of child labor. Also, Government of India, in fact, Indian Parliament has ratified both ILO Convention on worst forms of child labor, that includes slavery and trafficking, and also the Minimum Age Convention.
So you are optimistic?
I'm very optimistic. Not only about India, I work across the world, across 100 countries, and I know.
Monique, we at the Thomson Reuters Foundation, or you, I should say, the Thomson Reuters. You're less optimistic.
No.
Yes, but let me ask you. We work with media, with legal research, pro bono assistance, with businesses, with policymakers. Are they just not getting their acts together?
Well, they are getting their act together, and Kailash is absolutely right. There is a progress because there is much more awareness than 7 or 8 years ago, so it's a good thing. And then laws have been voted in the UK after California, UK, this year in France, last year in France, this year it will be Australia, etc. So it's moving on in the right direction. But still, from everything we know, the number of slaves in the world is growing rather than diminishing. So it's not a big progress. But the awareness of companies, of government, of people, and of the consumer is key.
But Monique, awareness is one thing, action is another.
Yeah, we agree.
Are corporations doing enough?
Yeah, no, they are not doing enough. They start to, they didn't even know that they were forced labor in their supply chains. So this is something rather new for them. So now they are taking action against that, and we have created, the Stop Slavery Award to give to the ones who are really putting effort behind that.
Okay, Kailash, you personally contribute to the rescue of thousands of children. You've done this in the past. Talk to us a little bit, provide us with a little bit of some of the anecdotal evidence here. What happens to these children after they're rescued? How are they reintegrated into society? Because this is an extremely important piece of this.
Well, my organization, BBA in India, and I have freed over 86,000 child slaves over the last almost 40 years. But right from the beginning, we knew that the rehabilitation is a major challenge. So we fought with the governments in the past. And finally, we have a very strong rehabilitation program. The present government has revived it. So every single person, child or adults, is entitled to get the rehabilitation benefits under government schemes. But we do have our own 3 rehabilitation centers for children, 1 for girls and 2 for boys. And thousands of children who were freed got the benefit under either government schemes and also through our efforts.
The reason I ask about corporations is because this is a business, a fast-growing business. Give us a sense of how big this crime is from a financial perspective.
So the ILO says it's $150 billion business each year in profit, pure profit. It seems a growing business, and it means that more people are coming to the slavery business because there is total impunity. The problem of that is that we become aware of it, but the prosecutors have still not found how to prosecute for forced labor. Just know that 30% of the slaves in the world are in the sex industry. 70% are in forced labor. That is, they're working at no pay for corporations, which very often don't even know they are working at no pay, except the slave masters, and there are many of them in India, and for many historic reasons, etc. But this is a very, very big business. This is organized crime at its best, and we fight it in a very disorganized manner.
Okay. And that's where I want to finish, actually. Okay, we fight it in a disorganized manner. We're here in Davos. You can talk to the corporations, you can talk to the policymakers. But my question is this: when we get back into the real world outside of Davos, how does this message trickle down to the people. How do we get this message out in an effective and an efficient way across the world?
For me, one thing is very clear, that without a moral compass and without compassionate intelligence, the businesses and the political powers are useless. It will create much more problems, as we see in the world.
Yes.
So these things have to be established. That's why I'm calling for globalization of compassion.
But does that come from the bottom up or the top down?
Both.
Yeah.
When some of these corporate leaders join with us against slavery, when civil society organizations, political leaders agree that slavery is unacceptable, then this is the beginning of globalization of compassion from the top. From bottom, ordinary people, children, youth, they are involved and they are saying no to slavery now. So I'm quite optimistic.
The globalization of compassion, that's where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much indeed to both of you. Kailash Satyarthi, Monique Villa from the Thomson Reuters Foundation. That was Answers on Modern Slavery. I'm Axel Threlfall here in Davos.